welcome to episode 12 of Anime and Us Other. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime movies.
Sometimes.
I don't know what the intro is, so that's what we're going with this time around.
Alright guys, so we spun for Other, because we got on the wheel recently, and we got Howl's Moving Castle. It is a movie from 2004, Japanese animated fantasy film, written and directed by Miyazaki. Hayao? I don't know his first name. The film is loosely based on a 1986 novel by the same name by a British author, Deanne Wynne Jones. Something Studio Ghibli. It came out in 2000.
I think it's Diana Wynne Jones, by the way.
Diana Wynne Jones? Oh, that's what I said. I said Diana Wynne.
You said Diana Wine.
Oh, well. Anyway. I didn't know that this was based off of a book from someone else, so that was interesting.
Neither did I. Just looked like a weird Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah, just looked like a regular run-of-the-mill Studio Ghibli.
So
I saw it when it came out, and I actually owned the Blu-ray back in the day. Probably sold it to Movie Stop. Remember that place?
Yeah.
But I still own it. I have it on Vudu, so I watched it there.
I only think I've ever seen pieces of every Studio Ghibli movie. I don't think I've ever watched an entire one of them.
Unless I'm mistaken, I'm in the same boat as you, except for this movie. Because what are the other really popular one?
I know it's the one with the fish, Poyo.
Poyo, I own that on Blu-ray. My wife loves it. I haven't seen it.
And then I remember there's another one.
There's a
girl.
Yeah. Everyone knows that one, but I can't remember the name.
Isn't it like she's like a witch or something? Like I remember.
I think she has magic.
I
think she has magic in her, and she's like wants to train to be a witch. I can't remember.
We really should have started the first one, but you didn't want to do the first one.
No, I'd rather just do because the first one's like from the '60s. And obviously, it's not going to be his top work. This was good.
I heard the first one was really good though.
Maybe
it's like a wolf or something.
Yeah, I'm good.
Giant wolf.
I'll tell you what, you will put that in for the next wheel when we spin further. That one will be in there.
I'm just saying, we usually start at the beginning of this stuff, but you want to jump right in the middle of this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not like consecutive. It's like a Final Fantasy. They're all different. Doesn't really matter.
No.
Whereas with anime, if you do the second season before the first season, you can't do that.
That's true. But we did it with Lupin.
Well, yeah, but Lupin was also more of a series for us. When we put a week off, we go to Lupin. Yeah. So that's a bit different than spinning. Well, I get it. Anyway, premise of the movie.
All I'm saying is, in the wheel, when we spin for movies, the first movie that's in there is Dead Zone, and that's the first Dragon Ball Z movie.
It's also a good one, though, and we know it's good. To be fair, I think all the Dragon Ball Z movies are good, except for the Broly ones. I don't like Broly, but that's a personal taste, I guess.
Keep putting this off anyway. Go ahead, you can do the premise.
Oh, thanks. I was trying to get you to do the premise. If the story follows a girl who's 18... I don't know if they say that in the anime or not, but I read up a tiny bit on the wiki before here, and she is 18. Her name's Sophie. I remembered that. And she's an ordinary girl. She's plain looking. It's sort of like the industrial. Looking? She is in the beginning, but like afterwards, after everything happens, I don't feel like she is anymore. I feel like she's somehow a little prettier.
Well, I kind of got the impression that she was supposed to be a pretty girl just down on herself.
That's fair too, but I didn't see anything different about her versus... I did see some... So, the other girls that you see in the beginning, they've got makeup, they've got blonde hair, They're in frilly dresses. She's got none of that. And although I don't give a shit about blonde hair, that's a thing that people really like. That's a thing that some girls envy and want.
Well, that's true. All the other girls are done up. She's plain in the sense that she's not... She's naturally beautiful, I think.
Yes, like a plain Jane, but still pretty.
I'm not sure... I'm just going to jump to the end right here. I'm not sure...
The premise.
But I'm just confused about something.
No, I'll explain it later. I know exactly what you're going to ask.
Okay, go ahead. Then you can continue on with the premise.
So the premise, this girl, she's working in a hat shop, and she encounters a magician, who everyone knows of. But magicians aren't, like, rare in this world. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
But this one has, like, a reputation of stealing pretty girls.
Yes.
And, they have a chance encounter. He does some magic, flies off. There's someone chasing him. He, brings her to her destination and flies off. And then when she goes back to the hat shop for whatever reason, this witch curses her to look like an old lady, and she can't talk about it. She can't talk about the curse. Yeah. So she seems to either be on a quest to find Howl, or to find the witch, or to fix herself. I actually don't know what she was searching for. It's got to be one of those things, because she went in search of it.
She just left.
Yeah, she just left. She was clearly in search of one of those things. She wanted to fix the curse. She meets up with Howl, and then a bunch of shit happens, and that's kind of the premise.
Well, Hal's kind of a dick, because...
Well, he is a bit of a dick, but there's reasons for it. He doesn't have a heart.
Yeah, but what I mean is, he does save her from the two soldiers in the beginning, stuff like that.
Well, yes.
But then he pretty much puts her in danger by saving her, because now these shadows come and...
Well, the shadows were after him, and he saved her, then the shadows call on him.
But now the witch thinks that he's hers, and
sure,
so
but that's like collateral
goes,
damage. It's not something
but
you do
that's
on purpose. So what do? Just not help a girl that's about to be raped? Like, what do you do?
Was that what was going to happen?
Probably not, because he did say, "Oh, don't be too harsh on them; they're good guys."
Yeah, I didn't think that was... I thought
no, but maybe something could have happened.
They're just being aggressive jerks.
But he is after the pretty girl, so could have just been him.
But we were led to believe, at least through all the dialogue, that she's not pretty at this point.
But what's his perception on pretty? We don't know. We don't know any of the... We don't see any women that he's caught before.
True. Well, I mean,
or gone after.
They said he was with the Witch of the Waste at one point.
Yeah, but that must have been like 80 years ago before she goes old with that.
Well, maybe he's in the Fat Girls.
Yeah, I doubt it. Especially with his obsession with beauty, I doubt it.
Well, no, he's obsessed with his own beauty. Not anyone else's.
Well, it does seem like he's a bit obsessed with some kind of beauty, because he keeps going after pretty girls, quote unquote.
Well, that's just rumors. We don't know that's true at all.
For sure.
Because they never touch on any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the whole world's weird. Like, the technology's weird.
So, like, the world building is very much show, not tell.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you see these flying apparatuses that are, like, flying tanks and APCs, essentially, and they just don't explain any of it. This is the world.
Like, the first 5 minutes...
Like Star Wars, for instance. Like, you see the gliders or whatever they're called. It's there.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes is just her walking through the streets showing you what this world is. And all the different technologies and stuff like that. And it's gotta be, like...
Industrial. Yeah,
like,
just a different form of it, because there's flying tanks.
And, magic.
And magic.
So, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird movie.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fun. I like it.
Not a lot happens in it, though.
I mean, things happen. It's just not very deep.
It's got a Wizard of Oz feel to it.
A little.
Like... I don't even mean because the first thing she runs into is a scarecrow.
No, definitely.
But, like, she does. She runs into a scarecrow, and then she just keeps on with myths and different characters and stuff, and keeps gathering people and stuff
She's
like
Goku.
that. That too. It's got a little bit of Dragon Ball Z to it, too. Without all the fighting. I mean, there's a little bit of fighting.
The only real depth to this is, like, her falling in love. Sorry if you can hear my cat. I think they're fighting. Yeah, they're fighting. Is her falling in love with Howl falling in love with her, and, like, there are curses that they all have on each other.
Yeah, I get the feeling all Studio Ghibli movies are like this, that are just based around a message.
Yes, yeah. That's my feeling as well.
Because this is definitely... I think it's a love story. Feel like a love story.
It didn't feel like a love story. It didn't feel like there was a reason for her to love him other than he's got magic and he's attractive. It didn't feel like there was a good reason for him to love her other than he knows she's pretty. Yeah. You know what I mean? They just kind of loved each other, which is, I guess, fine.
Yeah, it just kind of falls... Things just happen, and it just, like, relies on visuals to get by, I think.
Yes. Although it is, for 2000, 3004, it looks really good.
It's very pretty.
It's better than anything Disney was putting out, and I just watched Lilo and Stitch, which came out in 2002, right around that time. And Lilo and Stitch is nice, but this is better. Like, far and beyond.
I mean, Miyazaki's always been top-notch. You remember, he did that first Lupin movie, and that was gorgeous, too.
Old.
Even though it was old. Mm-hmm. So, it's like...
It was punching above its weight.
Definitely. So, I mean, the art is just always been fantastic with him.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, she goes to the west. We went over the beginning part, the waste, whatever they call it. Cursed her because she wants Howl's heart apparently, and the girl was talking to Howl and she's upset about it. Mm-hmm. And so she's going to the west, or the waste, I should say.
Yes. In
search of something to fix her, even though she doesn't actually say that. That's obviously what she's doing. She's a little old lady now. She's like 90.
But
and
she comes. Now? Because
yes and no, because it goes back and forth throughout the movie.
But it only goes back and forth when she's asleep.
No, it happens quite often when she's awake too.
As the movie progresses, yes. In the beginning.
In the very beginning, it only happens when she's asleep the first time.
Yes.
But that's actually a point of contention that I saw for the movie viewers versus the book. In the book, it's very clear that Howl can see through the curse.
Oh.
In the movie, it's you're assumed from that scene of him seeing her asleep as, pretty girl, that he can see through the curse.
Okay.
And that's what I picked up from it before I read anything. I picked up that, he can magically see through that she's cursed.
Well, that's not how the movie presented it towards the end. It seemed like she was breaking through the curse at certain points of the thing, so it was fading. So
it was. But him being able to see through it and the curse itself actually breaking is two different things. He can only see through it because he's got magic.
Well, right, I understand that, but when she was sleeping, my impression was that it only seems to be implied when she's So
the reason why I say no to that is because when she was sleeping, she didn't just look like a 18-year-old girl. The old lady was around her. There was an after image of the old lady on top of her, around her.
Oh, I didn't.
So I saw it as him seeing through the old lady and seeing her underneath.
I didn't see the after image.
Yeah, it was faint, but it was there.
Okay. So then, yeah, that would be that. But, the curse, though, I got the impression that it was only affecting her because she was so down on herself.
So I definitely got that. When she stopped caring about the way she looked and felt and all that and just started doing things and helping others and herself, the curse was nearly gone. And then it was completely gone when, they announced their love for each other and kissed.
So, is that what happened?
I mean, yeah. So I did look that up, and that is what happened at the end. When they embraced at the very end, the curse was broken.
Okay.
But there's an after effect of her hair staying gray. And that's when he marvels. I think the comment, he said something like, your hair's sparkling, or fireworks or something.
Like star bright or
there
something.
You go. Stardust, something like that.
Stardust, yeah. But, I don't know, it just...
But yeah, it doesn't, it's very much show, not tell. You just have to assume, unless you look it up later, that that's what happened.
But, like I said, I drew a conclusion that it was because of her own self-doubt that was keeping the curse going. But I didn't know how it was broken.
So, there was another curse. What was it? I forget, but there was another curse and they explained how to fix it in the movie.
Oh,
and I'm assuming that there was more than one way for her to break the curse.
The Scarecrow was the prince.
Yes. Oh, that's what it was. And the kiss of his true love breaks his curse.
Yes.
So what I'm assuming is there was more than one way for her to break her curse. One would be, falling in love or whatever, like she did, and that's how she eventually broke it. Or the other would be falling in love with yourself and embracing yourself and not having doubts. And that could have broken it as well. And we saw that throughout the movie happening.
But she kissed him before that end kiss, too, though.
That was, she was dreaming. Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure she was dreaming for that one.
When she kissed him when he was a giant bird thing?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think that was a dream.
I can't remember. Either way, there's a single kiss and, professing your love for each other is a bit different. Because, her curse also could have been all bent on of getting someone else to love her, not just her professing her love.
But the Scarecrow curse
His curse is different.
It's
a different curse from a different person.
True love kiss is...
Different curse from a different person.
I don't know.
It has a different fix to it. Not every boss fight has the same way to beat the boss. It's the same concept.
I guess.
Well, not every curse has the same fix. It's the exact same concept.
I guess. It's just they're very similar.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Doesn't confuse me.
I didn't understand how the curses and stuff worked in this. It seemed
they were weird, especially because the Witch of the Waste that cursed her. Eventually, I don't know if we should call them friends or not, but she comes into the group with Howl and Sophie. And
after she's stripped of her powers and turned into a prune.
Yeah, but she eventually becomes their semi-friend, I guess. Sophie's asking her fix it, and she's like, I don't know. I already told you my skills are placing curses, not lifting them. So the magic is really weird because if you can place a curse, you can lift it.
It's a bit contrived.
That's pretty it's settled theory on curses across every type of fantasy. Yeah. But whatever.
Where they knew where that character was going and they wanted to be able to look at
curse. It's more like they had a plot hole and they just dug it themselves out by adding that line in there. Whatever. The art looks great.
The more we talk about it, the more the story seems to fall apart.
It doesn't fall apart for me at all. It all makes sense. It makes more sense if you watch it versus talking about it. But you have to pick up on it.
The two nations are going to war.
Yeah, they're at war. There was a line earlier about one of the princes missing.
Yeah, well,
and that's the Scarecrow.
Well, why was he cursed?
Don't know. That's off screen. It's not part of our story.
But the magician lady in the wheelchair said, "Oh, he's free. He's free."
Yeah, so she probably had something to do with it.
So she was why was she starting this war?
Maybe she wanted to kill people. Maybe she wanted control over the magicians.
There's a lot of plot holes when you think
those aren't plot holes. Those are unanswered questions. That's the difference. No, a plot hole is this shouldn't have happened because of this. What we're bringing up right now are unanswered questions.
Okay.
Which are issues, but they're not plot holes.
Okay.
That's not what a plot hole is.
Okay. I'm not going to get in this argument.
Oh, I think we're in it.
I'm done with this argument.
Anyway. Yeah, I mean, they're going on hijinks. Hal has a curse placed on him.
Is it a curse? Or is he...
It seems like an effect of whatever he did with Calcifer. Of him binding Calcifer seemed to fuck him. Yeah, but when he bound Calcifer to the castle and gave his heart to Calcifer, they bound each other to each other.
Yeah, but all the other monsters can turn into monsters too. All the other magicians can turn into monsters too.
So it's not him turning into a monster that's an issue. It's him being able to turn back. So, like, in the first time he meets Sophie, right before he meets her, he's, like, half bird. He sits at the fire, and he slowly turns back, and Calcifer's, whoa, better not do that again, you might not be able to turn back.
Yeah.
So, like, the issue is he doesn't have all of his power, is what I'm guessing, what I'm taking from it.
I'm just saying, it doesn't mean that the effect from Calcifer is the one that caused it. It seems like anyone who can use magic can turn into a monster.
Yes, no. Calcifer isn't turning him into a monster. Calcifer, the effect in his heart coming out and giving that to Calcifer is keeping him from turning back to human. You get it? They can all turn into monsters. That's not right. That's not part of the curse
and
only
at all. Only because he gives us that to Calcifer, he can turn back human.
He can. No, they all can. The reasons why the others can't is because Sullivan f***ed with them, the witch lady.
Okay.
So the reason why he's having issues turning back to human is because of the pact he has with Calcifer where he took his heart out. Because once his heart comes back, he's perfectly healed. He's fine.
I don't think I follow.
No. His binding with Calcifer with his magic. That's all it is. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I don't
understand how that's different from what's going on with the other wizards. Because
they're separate. They're completely separate. The other wizards can't turn back to human because of Sullivan. She wants to control them.
Okay.
It's a completely separate thing.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's just, how is that different from what Calcifer is doing with...
Because it has nothing to do with Sullivan.
You might want to explain who Calcifer is, because we said that name
that probably makes sense. Calcifer's the fire inside Howl's Moving Castle. He powers everything, from heating the bathwater to moving the entire castle, because the castle's on legs. And you find out 3/4 of the way through the movie that when Howl was a young boy, he caught Calcifer, the fire demon or whatever the f*** he is, took his own heart out, gave it to Calcifer, and somehow magically bound them two to each other. If one dies, they both die. It really is show not tell. They don't explain a whole lot. You have to extract it from watching it.
Apparently, because we can't explain it very well.
I'm explaining it fine. You're just not understanding it.
If you can't explain it to me, there's something wrong here.
What don't you get?
The whole concept of it.
When he gave his heart up to Calcifer to bind him, he lost a part of his magic, which is with him, and it's slowly degrading him over time.
He lost his emotions.
I'm assuming that happened as well, right? That's a big assumption, but who knows? Who knows with any of it?
They never said
but this is what I think happened.
Magic.
No, not his magical power in the sense like zap, zap, I can do this and that. He lost it in the sense of being able to recoup and turn back to a human.
But he turns to human all the time.
I know. But they showed multiple points throughout the movie that it's becoming harder and harder for him to turn back to a human, and he did it the last time unconscious.
This is what
because he was almost dead.
But this is what brings me back to the other magicians who turn into monsters.
Because they have a completely separate curse put on them by Sullivan, completely separate.
But that's not what Calcifer says.
Yes, he does.
He says no. He says they.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Hal says it.
Calcifer says they went too far and now they can't turn back.
That might be some of them. I don't know, but Hal does explicitly say that those magicians that he fought, where they gave themselves up to Sullivan.
That's a different line.
Sure, but maybe they're talking about separate magicians. Maybe there's magicians that work because what's her name? The Witch of the Waste has her own blob things that work for her, right?
Yeah,
that could be what Calcifer's talking about. Because Hal is very clearly talking about.
I'm talking
the wizards that work for.
I know what line you're talking about, but I'm talking about like in the very first action scene. Those wizards. Calcifer says those wizards went too far and now they can't turn back.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a thing.
So, how is that different from what?
Maybe because Howl isn't going too far. Because, like, for instance, the very first time he's transforming back, when he puts his feet up on Calcifer, it didn't look like he did a whole lot, but it was hard for him to turn back.
Because he didn't turn all the way into the bird monster thing, you think?
No, I think because of what they explicitly said then, is because it's hard. Their relationship is having a drain on it. And why Calcifer has said over and over again to Sophie, like, hey, we need to fix this or we're going to die. It makes sense to me.
I think I need to rewatch the movie because I think something's not added.
Anyway, we should move on.
No, something's not clicking for me.
Look, it's a good movie. There's not a whole lot of depth to it. Maybe there is because we can't figure any of this shit out, apparently. It's good. It's an easy watch. I didn't feel bored. I didn't feel the need to watch anything else. Like some animes I want to play on my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
It's above average, that's for sure. Visuals, 10 out of 10. Audio is pretty high. The voice acting, Christian Bale, the guy that did Calcifer, what was his name?
I don't know. I recognize the voice.
All of them are.
I didn't know
big
Christian
actors.
Bale was in it. Oh.
Yeah, all of them are big actors. I'm gonna look it up.
Was Christopher? Who was Bale?
Oh, he was Howl.
Oh, was he Howl?
Yeah.
Oh.
The IMDb because they have cast. Find it, Jesus Christ. Oh my God! Give me the English cast. Why are you giving me the Japanese cast? I don't care about that.
You didn't type English cast.
Just type it in. Oh, English. Oh, I don't want dub. Type it in. Space. All right. Lots of dead air.
I don't have any room to type it in.
Just use your fingers. Use your index finger.
Listen to
English voice actors. Oh, okay, worked. Woo. Did it? God damn. Here we go. I think. Where's the English ones? We're gonna do this. We're gonna find it.
There's a lot of names there, so... And
yeah, but like all the ones at the top are...
English, so scroll down.
No, we're going somewhere else.
Okay.
We're finding it. You're just gonna delete all this.
This is gonna take forever. I don't even all this in.
Let's just do Wiki. It's gotta be there. I'm gonna stop talking. That way you have to cut it. Oh, goddamn it. Fandom. English voice actors. For f***'s sake. Because like Calcifer is a very... Like everyone knows his voice. Here we go. English dubbing actor. Sophie. I know their faces, but like Emily Mortimer plays young Sophie. Gene Simmons plays old. Hal is Christian Bale. Witch of the Waste was Lauren Bacall. I know her face.
Not the Kiss.
Billy Crystal. That's who Calcifer is.
Not the Kiss Gene Simmons, an actual woman.
Oh, yeah. And then, there's other people that are
that was
prevalent.
Because I knew I recognized his voice.
Yeah, Billy Crystal. It was like, I was like, well, who's that voice? I know it.
Yeah.
But like, the voice acting was top notch.
Yeah, it was good. Movie was good. I just had issues with it. I had issues with its convoluted plot.
It wasn't convoluted. It was just very show, not tell.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's no exposition, which is fantastic. Especially with all the animes, we get stuck with exposition dumps. Didn't happen.
Well, sometimes exposition dumps are necessary.
Maybe a little. I liked it. Let's say, art was 10 out of 10. Voice acting was 10 out of 10. The plot could probably use a little work. I would say it's a 6 or a 7. Especially if you're one of these people that need it written out for you. For me, it would be like an 8. For overall, the movie for me is a solid 9. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Was it something I would pick to watch? No, because I'm not into like Disney princess movies. I'm not into these kinds of movies. But having watched it, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I wouldn't say it's a 9. I think it's more of an 8, but...
That's fine.
We'll
have to rank it against other Miyazaki films when we do them.
It's probably one of the better ones. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Unless you got anything else?
No, you can end the podcast now.
Bye. Next episode.
A Log Horizon.
Okay, hope if you upload it in that order. Bye.